if there is one person on earth right now saying exactly what it should be said when it comes to Piers Morgan, it is Dan Bilzerian. He used the word, the F word, effing word, so many times. I will play the video in a second that I have decided to use that on my title, Effing Morons, even though he did not call them effing morons, both PBD and also Piers Morgan, but he said it over and over again. He said the word F over and over again, so I've decided to use it. Before I play the video, not subscribed, consider subscribing. Let's play the video. Take a listen.
So,
Did you lose your Instagram?
I didn't.
Okay.
I actually posted some of the clips on there. Well, I take that back because I did post before Piers on there. I posted about Israel being a fucking parasite, but
Yeah.
I went a little bit deeper on PBD before PBD I posted on there.
Yeah, I love PBD, and you made him score.
Because he knows I'm right.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Like he knows I'm right. So it's tough. Like it's hard. And I don't think he was ready to tap dance like that either, you know, because I didn't think he thought that I was going to come as strong as I did. I don't think Pierce thought so either.
Right. Yeah.
You know, and so usually they prepare for, you know, what a guy's going to say and know that he's going to probably have boundaries and not just say fuck it.
I was looking at that podcast. You know how you're looking at a podcast?
There was absolutely no boundaries. When he talked to Piers Morgan, he had absolutely no boundary. He did not give a F about anything. He was like, oh my God.
Listen to you, he's like, all right, you listen to this shit. You get bored, you turn it off like 15 minutes in. I was like this the whole time.
on the Piers?
And Patrick Bet David. I was glued to it.
Yeah,
it
was funny, man. You watched like the first 45 minutes and I'm pretty tired because I'd done Chris Williamson before that. And then he started pressing me on Israel and then I woke up pretty quick.
Yeah.
So it was a lot more interesting to talk about than the horrors and whatnot.
Right. Yeah, Piers Morgan, he was flabbergasted. He didn't know what to say. He started just calling you names. He didn't try to refute anything you were saying. He just called you names.
Just over and over and over again. It was funny. I saw a clip where they like counted how many times he called me an anti-Semite. It was like I lost count.
Hey, he didn't call you a liar. Not one time. He had ample opportunity to call you a liar. He never said it.
And he would ask me something, and I would give him a very fucking direct answer, and then he would just move on to something. He wouldn't respond to it. He wouldn't acknowledge it. He would just move on.
Yeah, he just called you a Nazi.
Yeah, well, that's where he ended with it. Yeah.
Yeah. And humming attacks. I was like, everything, I mean, when I listen to you speak, it's not like their opinions per se. I mean, I guess you can say the opinions, but the difference between a fact and opinion is a fact. You can back it up with evidence and you can prove that it's no longer opinion. And majority of the thing you say sounds pretty factual to me.
Yeah, I didn't just like wake up and hate Jews one day. You know, like it's not like, you know, I'm fucking some Hitler advocate or whatever. Like I had more friends that were Jewish than probably non-Jewish. I'm a rich guy, hang out with fucking rich guys. They just, you know, all seem to be Jewish these days. But yeah, it was not something that I really even considered, you know, and then you just start seeing this stuff and you start seeing what they're doing in Israel. You start seeing our support of Israel to our own detriment. And it just doesn't make any fucking sense. Right. And then you start putting this stuff together like Epstein Island and that's a Mossad operation. And that's why they have fucking dirt on our politicians. And that's why these guys are just, you know, I mean, you look at their tweets, it's literally like somebody like took their phone and is just fucking, you know, tweeting blind support for Israel. And you ask why, and nobody can give you a straight answer. Nobody can tell you why they're our greatest fucking ally. You know, it's like,
I do wonder though if Jeffrey Epstein had something on Piers Morgan and also PBD and all of these podcasters. I don't know if he had something on them. Maybe, I mean, of course, everything, the list is now, looks like to me, to the Zionists. Netanyahu has a whole list of people's name who could be blackmailed easily using Jeffrey Epstein's list. But I do wonder sometimes. Let me know. Do you think if Jeffrey Epstein had something on Piers Morgan? Let me know.
I was chosen people.
Well, yeah, there's that. And that kind of like, that's really what set me off is when I found out like how much their religion was based on supremacy. You know, and I think when you start off down a road of supremacy, you have a lot of problems because then it's like, it's okay to justify a lot of things. It's just like, you know, we kill animals. Animals are, you know, different than humans, right? They don't have the same brain. They don't have the same thought process. So we're able to say, okay, that's fine. You know, you can treat a cow obviously different than a human. And so for them, when they view Palestinians as cattle, then, you know, they can justify a lot. And I think that is the crux of the problem. The crux of the problem to me is their view of supremacy. And it's funny because I said that to Piers and he's like, oh, well, you sound like a Nazi. And it's like, you know, the storyline that we were told was the Nazis were the white supremacists.
Right, that's what I thought.
Right, like they didn't like black people. They didn't like fucking anybody that wasn't Aryan, right? Whatever.
Right.
That was like what we were taught.
Right.
And so when I said that I didn't like Jewish supremacy and I don't like an idea of supremacy, for him to turn around and say, oh, well, you sound like a Nazi, I'm like, well, it's not what I was told the Nazis said. I mean, like my idea of what the Nazis are today is very different than it was 5 years ago, just because look, when you listen to Hitler's speeches, it's not like, let's gas these fucking Jews. And, you know, you like you hear him and he sounds angry, right? Like back in the day, you would hear this shit and you didn't know what the fuck he was saying, but it's like, oh, he's probably saying fuck these Jews and blah, blah, blah.
Exactly. I got recommended a video on YouTube and it says Hitler's speech transcribed in English. I said, why am I getting recommended this? So I said, fuck it. I popped it out. I said, holy shit. Yeah. He didn't sound like a racist to me.
Well, not just that, but like you listen to what he's talking about and it's like, fuck, this sounds like the problems we're having today. Perversion in the cinema, you know, perverting our fucking youth, you know, like the things that he's complaining about, the banking system, you know, all this stuff, it's all problems that we're facing today. And to me, I'm like, man, you start connecting the dots, like, where is this transgender bullshit coming from? Because I don't care if people are gay. I don't care if they're fucking trans. I really don't. I've hired tons of fucking gay assistants. I've had them. I liked them at the parties because they weren't fucking my girls. Less distraction, right? So I've had gay guys around me the whole time. I don't give a shit. It's not like I'm anti-gay. I don't give a fuck. And I would tell you if I was, because I really, at this point in my life, I don't give a fuck.
Right.
You know? And it's a lot more popular to be anti-gay than it is anti-Jew. I can tell you that.
Right.
But what I saw was this is coming from the Jewish community. Like the Talmud has 8 genders. Like the first transgender clinic was opened by Magnus Hirschfeld, a Jewish guy in Germany in 1919. That's what they closed down. They burned those fucking books. Like
that's what Hitler was closing down.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And you look at this and it'll tell you that, you know, they don't hide from it. There was actually some transgender woman, man, whatever on TV that was just talking about how you know, the Jewish people were the ones that pioneered this. And that was what the Nazis shut down. She was saying it like a bad thing. And it's like, okay, like I'm not against transgenders, but I'm against it being pushed on children. I'm against.
I mean, all of these things that are now coming up and everything that today's societies, they are pushing back when it comes to transgender and gay and this right and that right. All of this actually came from the Zionist playbook. They have used them as a tool. They have used them as a way to advance their propaganda, to destroy people, to destroy humanity. You will not see these things being propagated to a selected few of the top elite Zionists. This message of transgenderism, gayism, and LGBTQ, they are being propagated and being implemented on people who are lower class, so that when it would come to that point, the Zionists, they would blame humanity except themselves, telling everybody that we're all tainted, we're corrupt, look at what we're doing, you know. I mean, today we have gay rights everywhere in the world. More and more countries are joining with gay rights and transgender and all of these things. So what the Zionists, I should say, want to do here, what I understand, is that they want to push it on us. And so that once we all have this, you know, gay people in our communities, for example, I mean, a few days ago, just want to give you one example, Imam in South Africa, he was a gay and he was killed. So you see, these things are being pushed into every community in the world, Muslim community, Christian community. I mean, today's Christian, they are no longer really Christian. Most of them are atheists. They don't believe in Jesus Christ. But the point is that they want to pollute every other religion. They want to pollute every other community and save just a few of them, the Zionists, the top elite. And they want to come out later on as the savior of the world. And this is how they want to treat everybody. How many people we have? 8 billion? I mean, 7 billion, 90 million people. They want to all to be tainted with all of these things. But again, Dan Bilzerian, he doesn't care. He actually pushed back and he called out Piers Morgan on his show, and he called out PBD. And I mean, this guy, he has to be careful with his word, because he's saying things that are not going to be sitting with a lot of this elite with comfort. They might come after him. You might see him getting arrested, getting raided by FBI, CIA. Who knows what he will get into trouble, what kind of trouble he will get into. Because we have seen it is happening every time. I mean, Scott Reeder, he went against the U.S. government's policy in Ukraine, in Israel. Then next thing you know, his house was raided by FBI. So hopefully, Dan Bilzerian will keep speaking up. He will tell us what is true and call out people like Piers Morgan and PBD.